Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lady T's Things That Bling. I'm happy that you decided to join me, and today I'm going to be showing you how I sublimate on a t-shirt. This t-shirt is 100% polyester, so that's why one of the reasons why the color is so vibrant. I'm not doing Cricut Design Space in this because Cricut Design Space only allows you a certain size when you're doing print and cut. So I went to Microsoft Word, open up a new screen, inserted my picture, changed the measurement of the picture. I made it the whole sheet, the whole 8.5 by 11 in Word. As you can see, I'm dragging it down to make it be the full length of the 8.5 by 11 sheet. The full length and the full width of 8.5 by 11. I just think these colors are beautiful. I love it. Now I'm going to print, and I truly made a mistake on this. As you can see, I put fail on there because when I went to print it, I forgot to reverse it. And you'll see what I'm talking about as it's coming up. When I saw it coming out, I was like, oh man, here we go again. I'm used to reversing it in Cricut Design Space. But in Microsoft Word, I don't know why I tend to forget. As you can see, the letters, they're coming out, the words are coming out the right way if I was using this as a picture, you know, to put in a frame or something like that. However, it must be reversed. It must be reversed. And if you don't reverse it, when you print it out on your shirt or whatever you're using, it's going to be horrible. So take my advice and make sure you reverse it. Now I'm going back into Word, and I go into layout, and I go all the way over to the end, and it says rotate. So I rotated it horizontally and printed it again. And that pop-up box comes up because the image is so big that they want to make sure I'm intended to do that. So now you can see it's printing out again. And you will see that the words are reversed, and you will see that the lady is on the opposite side of the sheet. Yeah, I could have sped up this process because this part is quite boring, but I wanted you to see how it's printing out now. The words are flipped. They're reversed. And that's how you want it to be, whether you're doing it in Microsoft Word, Publisher, or Cricut Design Space. You want to make sure. Now you see how it's the full length of the paper. The full length of the paper. So I have my heat press set to 400 degrees and 48 seconds. I did leave it on longer than 48. There's my cat. She just wants to craft. Okay, now back at the shirt. What I'm doing is I'm tearing the parchment paper because you have to put the parchment paper on the inside of the shirt. Why? Because if you don't, the image is going to bleed through the back of the shirt. You don't want that. I've made that mistake, man. And I had to reimburse somebody for their shirt because they only had one shirt, and I wasn't able to replace it. So you want to make sure that you put the parchment paper inside where your image is going to be. Please remember that if you don't remember anything else. And you see I'm trying to straighten it up there. Now I have a line down the middle of this shirt, and I'm going to show you in a second how I did it. I purposely did that line down the middle of the t-shirt. Now that I have the parchment paper situated where I wanted it to be, now this should have been, I should have did this before, but I folded the shirt in half and I put it on the heat press and pressed it long enough for there to be a line in the middle so I can line up my image. You don't want to leave it in there too long because you don't want it to burn. So and I have parchment paper on my heat press because being a newbie to this, I pressed something and it got on my pad. So now I use parchment paper to put down so that my images won't be damaged. Okay, now I have the shirt back on the heat press. And now what I'm doing here is I'm going to fold the image in half. I want the image to meet the image when I fold it in half, not the paper to the edge, because I'm trying to make it in the middle of that image. So I'm just folding it at that because I don't want to fold the whole image. And that line that I'm doing is going to line up with the line on the shirt. That's why I pressed the shirt with a line down the middle, because I want to compare it to the image to make sure it's centered, if that makes sense. You can see where the two line up. I know when my images are pressed properly because you can see the image very clearly on the transfer sheet. Now, if it came out really dull, then I would know that I hadn't left it on quite long enough. But you see how bright it was on the transfer sheet, and you see how bright it is on the shirt. Man, I love this image. And I love the fact that the lady showed me how to do this, how to make my colors come out vibrant. I'll be forever grateful to her for that. And her name is in my prior video, in the description. Tracy, her name is. All right, this is the finished product. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a blessed day.